on that.
Where do we even want to start? Because this week was
This week was insanity.
Pretty
crazy.
crazy.
Was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
if you would have tuned in, I mean, I put in our chat like, yo, if there's somebody out there who hit some kind of money line on Justice, Mayhem, Chengdu, you're buying drinks tonight. I mean, that guy's loaded.
That guy's buying a house.
Yeah, that guy's buying a house. With that, I mean, holy hell! Like, Johnny, where do you want to start?
I want to start talking about the results from this past week, Matt.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if there was anything else. Maybe you wanted to give us a let's give us a Team Sweden update, Johnny.
Team Sweden update. They're probably practicing.
All right, good stuff. We'll start doing that
Good talk, man.
at the beginning of every episode from now until World Cup. We're gonna ask you. You're the official insider of Team Sweden here on Plat.
You didn't specify Team Sweden Overwatch, so I might start rambling about our soccer team or our.
Where does the week of craziness begin? Does it start with the Florida Mayhem going up 2-0 up on the Washington Justice and then getting reverse swept?
That was a weird one.
I feel like the chaos started to ensue there because after that match, the Defiant beat the Dragons. Sure, why the F not?
I mean, now when you look back at that Justice Mayhem game,
that's potentially
unreal.
A game between two of the best teams.
Stage finals.
It wasn't though. I remember that game. It was still pretty shit.
Yeah, it was potato.
No, you left that game. You left that game being like, I just watched two teams that didn't want to win a game, and somebody won the game.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, I didn't even know Corey existed in this match.
Yeah. Having said that though, Gargoyle was really sick in the first half. I remember being like, "Oh my god, this guy's actually like pretty fucking."
That guy, That guy, when I casted, it was Vancouver, Florida, and like, there's really difficult things to find to talk about Florida sometimes. But I thought Gargoyle's play in that match was really good as well. I feel like he's starting to. I mean, I think. Well, when you sub him out for like when you sub Zephyr out and you put him in, like you're gonna see better results.
Do you think they'll do well in playoffs?
No.
Nice meme.
Yeah. Who would
2020, dude.
Who would have known we would have had to extend the play-ins down all the way to the bottom of the league? That's where I think the craziness starts. Toronto beat Shanghai. How do people feel about Shanghai now?
Whoa.
I don't feel that great about Shanghai, and I haven't since Rollock because they just don't have very deep hero pools on their DPS players. Youngjin's basically a Doomfist one trick now that he can't play Roadhog or Brig, and he can play a bit of Reaper. Okay, sure, but then Ding's on like only playing Pharah for some reason. I don't know whether people know, but Ding's got a really, really good Hanzo. But why the fuck are they not running him on Hanzo?
Who knows?
And who plays Mei for this team? Like Ding is the only person that's played Mei, and he's only played small.
They actually looked really good with Youngjin on Doomfist, but then it seemed like teams started to figure out the Doomfist, and they just started countering him. And we talked about this on the post show yesterday's Sideshow, but you didn't agree that like the damage duos is just like a round robin of like who counters who. But you don't seem to agree because you like Mei Hanzo. But I still feel like if you the Dragons' biggest problem versus Vancouver was the fact that they just played like pretty much Widowmaker Hanzo, and Haxal just went Genji, and like you can't play double sniper versus Haxal's Genji. You just can't.
No.
So
but that's why I like Mei Hanzo.
Yeah. I do think the Reaper is going to fall out of favor as the stage goes on.
Yeah, unless it's on very specific maps. Like Busan still seems pretty good for Reaper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just about tempo, right? Like Reaper is faster tempo, so if you can just speed boost with Moira, with Reaper, like you're going to win that fight any time of the week. While Hanzo just he can't keep up. So
as long as you can pin the enemy with a wall to their back, otherwise they'll run away from the Reaper.
I think the Dragons, the issue with the hero pool I think makes a lot of sense, and I think because of that they're extremely predictable. Like when you see the subs come in, you pretty much know exactly what you're going to see if you're the other team. And if you can stop that, you know they don't really have a great option to swap off of it.
Do you think they're a bit delusional, where they're just like, oh, DM Ding, like we were so good in the Stage 3 playoffs that we're just going to stick to this until it works? That they just like refuse to admit the meta and they just swap to
I think there's a lot of teams where you can look at like how the meta's changed and you can be like, okay, they clearly upgraded here. They didn't really lose that much here. You can't really say the Dragons got like upgraded in any way moving over to this type of meta.
Oh no.
Like there's nothing in which they got better at. It's only but even then like it was just consistently kind of worse across the board. Like
DM's got a nasty. The thing is, as well, though, what the hell is the meta? I don't think it's solidified
No
yet.
point.
No, nobody knows. Nobody
Don't
knows.
even come
Well,
to me
it's
saying
May.
the meta solidified.
It's no,
It
but
does
there's
seem
still
like
a
it's
good
May.
idea of what
May.
May is.
May
Yeah.
seems like a standard, but
Double sniper is
We're-
still pretty good, though.
we're at the weird. It's a weird point right now where it's in flux, and it's not going to be stationary even when it gets to playoffs because we're introducing a new hero. So, like, what the fuck is really?
No, I think you guys are being naive here. I think you guys got used to goats and just like, oh, there's one predominant composition. Whereas in the past, in Overwatch, there has always been like 2 or 3 compositions that go toe to toe.
When did I say that there was one comp?
No, but you said that the meta is still in flux. But the point I'm trying to make is that there is actually like 2 or 3 viable compositions, and I think teams will actually pick their favorite and sort of like take these 3 different compositions and make it the meta. It's not going to be one predominant, but it's going to be like 2 or 3 different.
I agree kind of with both sides in that I think the meta is still in flux, but then I think you start to see things like solidifying a bit. Like May seems like a staple. Like at least the first week it was like, okay, you need May when they're playing the Roadhog to break up that. But now you're seeing May even played when they play like Arisa Diva. This week we saw even more Batiste play than we saw last week. And then with Batiste play, you see a lot more Hanzo, right? Because now the Hanzo with the Storm Arrows plus the Amp Matrix and like Supercharger can just blow people up. Like he blows through the wall, blows through the shield. Like, and I think now teams are going to start spending time of like, okay, when they play Batiste Hanzo, like what is the counter to this type of setup, right? Where maybe you need to bring in like Ana, let's say, and then you're seeing teams play. I think we saw a bunch of teams this week on Volskaya play a lot of like Ana Batiste on defense for like high ground.
That makes sense.
It's pretty good.
Play.
I like the use of the Batiste. It makes sense to like save people.
Well, dude,
from
when you really think about it, like Batiste kit in 222 is so good because he can put down a decent amount of damage. He can still put out a ton of heals. Like the immortality field is pretty much like a free save for people. And then if you're playing sniper, it's just throw up the Amp Matrix and you're just running through them, especially when the other team is built around like not really using the I mean, sometimes I use May Wall as like a shield, but like to just kind of get through all of that extra shielding and whatnot to get through.
It's so good when you're doing Arisa. Like if you're an Arisa and you're against another Arisa, you always get value out of the Amp Matrix. And
especially because Supercharger and Amp Matrix stack. So that is a ton of damage in terms of... Like,
which I love. I think that's super cool. I don't love the immortality field, but I think the next evolution in the meta will be how do we kill the immortality field the fastest possible. Because this past week, it felt like a lot of teams were struggling to like prioritize the immortality field down, which grant like a second or 2 extra. And then,
they put it around corners or like behind the Arisa shield, and it just becomes really difficult to actually burst down.
Yeah, but even then, like people's players' priorities are a bit skewed because the DPS players are like, oh, I'm going to finish this guy while my team is killing the immortality field, and it's like it's just a bit like it's staggered a bit, and you know.
How worried are you about the Dragons of making the playoff?
Not really. I mean, they're in the top 12.
Yeah, but I'm saying like 6. The overall season playoff. They play They play the Shock next. They play Seoul Dynasty.
What do you mean the overall? You mean like the top 6?
Top 8. Top 8 is what is the actual playoffs.
Yeah, 12 is the actual playoffs.
The play-in I consider playoffs as well because.
But you aren't actually in the playoffs.
But can you?
That is technically when playoffs begin.
I can see them falling down to maybe 12th or 11th.
Yeah, maybe.
The Atlanta Rain they're 9th. They're 13-11. They play the Shock this week. They could potentially fall to 13-12. The Atlanta Rain are undefeated this stage with a better map differential than the Shanghai Dragons, which is actually mind-boggling to say.
Yeah.
Guangzhou Charge are playing well, and the Chengdu Hunters are playing well.
Wait, what? Is that the Shanghai schedule?
No.
No, Matt's just all over the place.
Those are the teams right underneath them.
Jesus, no, I thought that Shanghai were playing all of those teams. I was like, Jesus, that's 4 losses to end the season.
No, but I'm saying the teams underneath the Dragons are all in your top 5 in the league right now. And the Valiants are on the outside looking in. So it's like you have a few losses here for the Dragons. Like you're looking at from going to potentially like vying for a first round bye into the play-ins to having to play a Guangzhou Charge or an Atlanta Rain.
Yeah. Who do they play coming up? Why is
they play the Shock. You have to go to the site's kind of weird to use. So you have to go to the schedule and then you have to just select the team and it brings.
So that's kind of shit to use. Is what you mean to say?
Moving on. The Shock. So they play just the Shock this week. Then they play Seoul Dynasty. I think both of those are losable games. They probably beat Paris, and then they play the Hangzhou Spark at the end.
Okay, yeah, that's actually not that bad. Like, I think they win against Paris and Spark, and probably Seoul as well.
Yeah. So what, they finished 2-2?
Probably 3-1, honestly, but maybe 2-2.
They'll be safe.
Yeah, they'll make top 12. I don't think they'll make top 6.
I don't think this is interesting because
why?
It's too early.
Right. Let's too early. I think we should talk about the teams that still could make it into the top 12, but right now are just looking poo-poo. Well, do you think Dallas have an opportunity? Do you think Dallas will make top 12?
No, Dallas, Houston, Paris, Boston, all out.
The only one that has a chance is the Valiant.
Maybe. Yeah. And I don't think they will either.
And it's a slim chance. I mean, they pretty much have to win out, and they have the Battle of LA to win as well.
They have to beat Gladiators and Shock.
Yeah, that's why I'm having this discussion, because it's really just like, how hot do the Reign and the Charge and the Hunters get, and does it scare anybody else?
Well, what's Dallas' schedule like coming up?
They played Atlanta
Gladiators.
Yeah, Gladiators, Shock. So they're out.
Gladiators, Shock,
Hangzhou, Guangzhou, Atlanta. But Dallas are going to get poo-pooed for the rest of the fucking season.
Bro, they're donezo. That's so hard. They need to win almost. Well, actually, they can afford one more loss.
Okay, so the current top 12 is going to be the top 12 at the end of the season.
That's what I said yesterday.
We can say,
Do the Atlanta Reign not play at all this week? That's kind of odd.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they have a complete off week.
No,
sometimes like that though.
That's kind of nice to be
able the way it works.
There's a real opportunity they go 7-0.
Atlanta, Washington.
Atlanta?
Washington may be for whoever wins that may go undefeated, because if Atlanta beats Washington,
then they play London though, and I know that London lost to Mayhem this week in that match, but I don't think that London are a terrible team. I just think that they're really inconsistent.
No,
so you would put London Spitfire above Atlanta in your power rankings?
No, not at the moment. But also, that just because someone's a better team doesn't mean they're going to win in this meta.
No, we're assuming.
But let me ask you something. Does this? I think one of the more interesting things is, like, last year when we did the playoffs, the teams that made the finals were our 2 lowest seeds. Could you see something like that happening again this year?
Yes,
that's what was said on the post show yesterday too.
In fact, I think it's going to be more likely this year.
Like, could Atlanta Reign run the table? Like
we said on the post show last night, Atlanta Reign are looking like the Philly of last year.
Yeah.
Like, heating up at the right time.
I think you guys need to calm down.
Starting to come online.
No, Erster is not the equivalent of Carpe.
I think he might be better right now. I think Erster might be better.
Whoa.
I don't know if I'll jump on
I think
Erster
I'll
say that. I don't know if I'm willing to.
In the current state right now, I think Erster is playing at a higher level than Carpe is.
Compared to last year.
Yeah, not Carpe last year. Carpe last year is like.
Who's making that claim?
That's what
that was you said.
I said I think Erster is better than Carpe right now.
But then you misrepresented what I suggested.
Well,
Johnny's comparing them to Philly of last year.
It's my job, baby.
Misconstruing arguments.
All right, but Atlanta, you gotta be pumping the brakes a little with the Atlanta hype though, because even though they're at the top of the stage 4 table at the moment, the teams they've played have not really been that good. I mean, as much as I actually think Atlanta are a good team, and I've got a lot of faith in them, but they played Spark, who don't have a clue at the moment. They demolished Paris, but Paris don't look particularly good. They look like an all right kind of team. And then they beat Houston, who were just floundering because Houston are wild and all over the place. Atlanta haven't been tested at all.
Well, they look really good.
I think they look really good, though.
They look good.
Friday,
and they're not playing any tough opponents.
Friday, we had the Gladiators barely get by the Chengdu Hunters. Imagine if the Chengdu Hunters had a 2-0 week this week. That would have been huge. And Guangzhou beats the piss out of Hangzhou. As Hangzhou just they don't know. They don't look like they ain't clue where they're at.
Here's a question.
Okay.
New York have made the top 6.
Yeah.
Do they belong there?
Do they belong there?
Do they belong in the top 6?
Are you trying to throw out the division thing, that their division is so horrible that they don't actually deserve that spot?
Yeah.
All right, but here's the question. What is the playoffs trying to achieve? Are you trying to get the top 8 teams at that current time, Or are you trying to say who deserves it for their performance over the season? New York deserve top 6 for their performance.
Yeah, I think if you looked at the top, I'll shrink it down to the top 6. If you looked at the top 6, the only one out of there that I can say deserves New York's spot to have like a bye in number 2 would be the Shock. Other than that, like I think New York's better than Hangzhou. I think New York's better than the Gladiators. I think New York's better than London.
Right now?
Wait. You mean right now, or you mean over the course of the season?
Yeah.
Against
I didn't think
they're
that
better
through
than the
before.
Spark right now.
Yeah, I think they're better than the Spark right now. I agree with that.
London.
I don't think they're better than
I think that's a
Gladiators. I don't think they're
toss-up.
better than London.
I think London's a toss-up. I'd actually feel strongly more about them not being better than the Gladiators than London.
Yes, I think the Gladiators are... Well, the Gladiators are consistent, but I think if you can shut down Decay, then you shut down the team.
Did you see that stat, though? You see that stat I ran, though, that against every team that's not... against the other teams in the top 8, the Gladiators have a 40% map win percentage, and then against the rest of the league, it's like 75%.
Yeah, but that was a different meta. Like this stage, they beat the New York, and they went to map 5 versus Shock. So I'm like, they're actually might be legit. I still want to see them prove themselves more, but they're looking good.
I think they're legit. The thing with me is, like, I just want to see the Gladiators win, like, a big game. Like, in a stage playoff, or, like, obviously we don't have stage playoffs, but, like...
Yeah. They haven't won a playoff game.
Yeah,
in
no, when it really matters.
When
it really matters, like, they look awesome the whole regular season. Then when it matters, like, they just...
Yeah, and they play the Fuel next week, so we're still gonna say this next week because they won't be.
Let me be real with you guys. Like, this stage is just a mess.
Be real with us, Bren.
I love it personally. I love it.
I think it's awesome. I think it's
all over the bloody shop. Like,
I like
so Saturday. Saturday is where things get like loosey goosey. Like Atlanta comes in, they just dominate Paris. Okay, Florida with the 3-0 of London. The weirdest part about that match is when we were casting it. Like, they lose the first 2 maps, and the London guys stand up at halftime, and they're just, like, laughing, going in the back, like hugging each other type of thing. I was like, the hell's going on? Like,
I still don't understand what happened in that game. I'm going to do a VOD review of it after this match with the replay viewer. I literally could not tell you why they lost that game, apart from they just seemed to be, like Bren talked about at the halftime, like, rotating around everywhere.
They committed to this Widow v. Widow battle, and Birdring was just getting like kind of dunked on by Saya player, and then Birdring plays a little bit like passive. And Bren, you would know this, when you get dunked on as Widowmaker for a while, you start to get a little bit more passive as time goes on, a little bit more cautious. Like you just blindly just jump around the corner. You don't give shit.
I'm taking fight, and I'm just proving that I'm the dominant life force.
Birdring has a little bit of a different take on it, and he was just playing really passive.
Birdring's always had performance issues, though.
Yeah,
like some games he's just not even.
Was that what I said on a Plat chat not so long ago? Oh,
I mean,
Birdring's not a top.
Are you trying to say you're the only person that said that?
Because you guys seem to hate that idea.
Your audio is too bad, so we didn't understand.
Oh yeah, you guys hated that idea. Well,
I'm gonna be honest with you, Johnny. I don't hang off your every word. I don't clip out every statement you make and hang it up on my wall just to check and double check. But
mate, it's called social media presence.
It's a good claim at the time. But were we disagreeing with you?
I don't think anyone disagrees.
Birdring has been inconsistent his entire career. Profit on him, and Profit's sick.
Since he joined the Overwatch League, yeah. Birdring was on fire before then.
The Valiant beat the Fuel, nothing too surprising. The Valiant probably needed to get that 4-0. They probably needed the map differential.
That wasn't very clean.
No, the Shock were able to take out the Gladiators, which
that was a sick game. Sick match.
I really like the Shock right now, and then I feel like what the Shock are doing, and I was talking about it when I was watching the game and I was casting it, was that, remember in stage 1 where they just started like throwing a bunch of different things out there, and then by like week 3 or 4 they settled on a roster? I think that's exactly what they're doing now.
This is something I said right now. I keep saying on the Watchpoint shows.
Oh, you clip this out and then you tell everyone about it?
No, I'm just telling you now. But,
this is one I have on my wall. I have this one on my wall.
Yeah, but it's the coaching philosophy. It's how Krusty operates his teams. Is he likes to use all of the pieces available to him on the bench, mixing them out and seeing what works, and then observing the comms and scrims and performances.
And I think it's going to be like it's gonna be like some shit from like The Bachelor. Like 1 week, they're just gonna remove one piece, right? Like this week we didn't see Striker at all. Next week, who knows how like they kind of judge the performances. Like it's gonna be interesting because they're still splitting time in terms of main tank. with Super and Smurf. Sinatra played one game, played the Hanamura.
Dude, Sinatra's Tracer pounded.
Oh yeah, it was unreal.
It was
crazy. Could you imagine if he had like he wouldn't even need like a top tier Widowmaker play. He would just need to be able to play it at like a serviceable level. That guy would never come out. He would never come out. He'd be unreal.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could afford to run Sinatra a bit more as well.
Yeah. I think you'll see them run Sinatra. I think Rascal may be the one who ends up staying in, especially if May is still prevalent. Then you'll just keep rotating in. Like on maps that you would want like a Widowmaker option, you probably play Architect, and then on maps that you don't really feel like you need it, you probably play Sinatra, and you can get away with like Reaper and Tracer.
Who the bloody hell? Who plays Hanzo?
Sinatra does a little bit.
Hanzo as well.
An Architect, yeah. It's whoever they put in as well as Rascal. But honestly, this team doesn't run a lot of Hanzo.
No.
They don't run a lot of Hanzo. They don't run a lot of Double Widow either. Double Widow. What the fuck am I talking about? Double Sniper.
I'm not going to lie. The more I think about it, Josh, your claim about May Hanzo potentially being what a lot of teams stick to as one of the comps, I like that idea more and more. Because Hanzo is just a better Widowmaker, honestly. If you can aim with it, you still get the one shot. You get vision with Recon Arrow.
Yeah, the vision is
the ultimate. You can combo with Orisa really well, and you can use it to just win team fights off the back of it. He's a dope hero, and he's harder to headshot. Like in a straight up matchup, Hanzo versus Widowmaker, the Hanzo the Hanzo should be winning.
I don't know about that
because his bow pulls up over his head hitbox. So his head hitbox
it's always
is tiny.
difficult to headshot Hanzo's.
His head hitbox is actually tiny.
I mean, I don't think you would want to be taking direct fights against the Widowmaker. That's not how you would play the Hanzo, right? But like just by having vision, you'd pressure the.
I think
shield pressure as well puts out.
Well, I think that's where I think you can make the argument is like shield pressure, just the fact like you don't have like a lot of squishies in the game, even though you're seeing damage dealers. So like not really an opportunity to like one shot players. Really, it's just kind of like the supports. But I think that's where I think you can see. Well, not really, because you would have thought that like a map like Hollywood, like you would always see Widowmaker over Hanzo, and all we saw was Hanzo.
No, I'm not saying versus Widow or Hanzo. I'm saying like whether we see Hanzo at all, or whether we mix in like Genji or mix in Reaper.
Well, week one, we saw a lot of like Genji play and some stuff, but this week we really just saw a lot of Reaper, May, and Hanzo.
I think it comes down to the maybe like the immortality field.
I think Batiste has a part in as well.
Blades,
like, immortality, well, it's even like you just hide the immortality field around the wall, and like who's scared of the Widowmaker?
There were some
at that point?
true Papagas this week. Whenever they use Dragon Strike, and there's like, oh, I'm gonna Dragon Strike in here into the immortality field, and I'm like, you get no value.
Yeah.
People aren't used to playing versus immortality field yet.
I think a lot of the dragons we saw this week were either kind of comboing with halts, or they were really trying to just force players out, and then they would like dragon plus like a May wall and like force like mega awkward positioning.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times the dragon is just to push people out of position so that they can then isolate someone with the May wall. I think it's a really complex meta actually. Like even if everyone played was like Ana Batiste, Orisa Diva, fucking May Hanzo. If that was just the locked composition, that comp has so much depth. May is a weird hero, and the skill ceiling is so high.
I think it's just like you're seeing some of these heroes like May and Batiste who have so much variance in their kit. Like May has the wall to split players off, has great survivability, no fall off damage on her right click at
Stratus
range.
is like
he's killing forage, just like one shotting them up in the sky, like burning down players up close. And then you also have like the Batiste who has good damage output, has good healing. Like then you combo him. He's probably really kind of intended to be a main support, but people almost play him like an off support, because they usually play him with like an Ana, right, where you can still have like a ton of healing. And you just have so much utility amongst these heroes now, across the board.
Yeah, I'd love to see Batiste become a mainstay.
I really like this meta.
It's a hero with tons of depth.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool one.
He's just a fun hero to play. I'm
But I
okay
hate
with any
Immortality.
meta as long as it's fun here to play. Yeah,
Screw
Johnny hates
Immortality.
Immortality Field
Yeah,
because he hates like earth-shattering people. Well, Reinhardt's not seen it all. And
It's
then
like,
never
here's an
got this.
ability we can't die. It's like the most disappointing thing ever. It's like, here's a sick nano Death Blossom in a Blizzard. Oh wait, there's an Immortality Field.
Yo, people get his
Counterplay.
amp matrix so fast, and it's. I would love to see. This week one of the things I may ask Ben is like team win fight percentage when you use the amp matrix, and maybe even see what's the team fight win percentage with amp matrix plus supercharger combo. It's got to be high.
That's why
high up
we
there.
saw so much Moira this week as well. Just Coalescence, you build it so fast, and then you have a tempo shift at the start of a fight.
yeah.
It's like Coalescence.
Something
is so
weird.
good.
Something
Coalescence
weird I've
amp
noticed.
matrix, you get it so fast. Yeah.
Something weird I've noticed from teams is previously, whenever Supercharger comes down, that would usually be the focus because it's one of the best ultimates in the game in terms of being able to build up other ultimates because you're dealing more damage and also just winning team fights. So normally that'll be the priority with a lot of team fights. They would focus on the Supercharger as the first stuff.
Yeah. I think it has
they're-
like highest win rate of all the ultimates.
It does, yeah.
Summer or
It used
something,
to.
Yeah,
It
it
used to.
It used to. I don't know if it does anymore. EMP's up there as well. But
yeah.
what I've seen recently is teams are just ignoring it. And then instead of opting for the Supercharger, maybe trying to opt for a single pickoff using like the May Ice Wall. And if they will prioritize somebody getting caught out of position from that, as opposed to trying to chunk down a Supercharger.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It's a weird one, right? Because I can't really think of many situations where focusing the Supercharger wouldn't be a better value. But
I was
I
trying to
could
find a
see
stat from Ben.
how it's worse to focus on the Supercharger if you're in a 5 versus 6 and you need a quick kill to change the tempo of the fight. Because if you're down a man, you usually go pretty like YOLO to get a kill to even out because you can't sustain in a long fight 5 versus 6. So that's usually where you probably dismiss the Supercharger and just go for kills instead, because otherwise the fight is lost anyway. And you're like, okay, well, we lost one more man and we killed the Supercharger. Now the chances are even less of GG.
I think it might be a little bit more simpler than that. I think it's that we're in a new meta and teams are still getting to grips of how to play it, and they've also kind of forgotten target prioritization along the way.
You know what's awesome
No.
about this meta as well?
We said so long that like, Overwatch is gonna benefit so much from the GOATS meta because we've learned like ability usage and like we're so much better players now, and now we can just backtrack
screw that
and be
shit.
like, we forgot how to target.
Just aim and dunk on people, dude.
I
That's
think
all I want to watch.
I think
don't
they
care
might have
about
regressed
abilities.
a little bit in the way they're thinking.
Well, I think you can actually make an argument for that with the Vancouver Titans and how poorly they managed all of their cooldowns.
Yeah,
in
like
their
their
match.
cooldown usage was awful. So was London's as well. Josh, when you break it down, pay attention to that as well, because it feels like they're just...
Josh, listen up. Brent's giving you advice.
They've forgotten a couple of the basics, you know?
Yeah. I think I was noticing that not so much with ability usage or stuff like that, but just when New York were playing Anubis and they were attacking with the Sombra Genji with an Ana, and they want to try and get their Genji in a good position, and then they're trying to execute a dive, and they're playing into a team that's running Junkrat, Widowmaker. I mean, that is like the whole of 2018. Every time you'd see Anubis would be exactly the same as that. And yet they looked catastrophic with how they were setting it up. Like they'd totally forgotten what they were doing. I think it will take a while for people to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
But some teams are faster than others.
And the one thing that I think we can all take away from this meta is you see everything changing coming in, that Diva is unkillable. They'll never get rid of Diva. I mean, they get nerfed to the ground. People still find a way to play Diva. I mean, Diva's unreal. I think also it's interesting you see Moira played when even Diva's on the other side, but I think that's only like it puts a real tax on her matrix on the other side because of the orbs and then the halts being able to like kind of you have to suck a lot of those up. So I think that's kind of interesting because usually you didn't really see Moira because you didn't get a ton of value and Diva's on the other side eating all the orbs, but defense matrix nerfs changed that a little bit. Now that we've gone deep into the meta, we were talking about Saturday. Sunday, that's when Sunday is when shit just hits the fan. I mean, Sunday is like
What's going on Sunday?
You could not.
Sunday was wild, bro.
What went on
Have you
Sunday?
erased it from your brain already, Bren?
You're not talking about this Sunday. You're talking about
the alcohol hit him hard last night. You already forgot.
Man, I mean, drinking on the job, you know.
yeah.
There was somebody in my Discord that was like, convinced that Bren was drunk on the Watchpoint post show. And they were like, thought that he had an alcohol problem and was getting proper serious about it. I was like,
drunk
wow.
drunk on crazy matches.
Yeah, I mean, Bren just can't speak. Don't worry about him.
It's not even an alcohol thing. It's a brain thing.
The Philly barely beats Toronto. Houston, that loss to Atlanta may have knocked them out. But then, I mean, Washington just fucking 360 dunks on the Titans. And then the Chengdu Hunters come out and they're like, yo, watch this, fam. And then they just throw it out. They throw down like a between the legs alley-oop on the NYXL. Like, teams are getting clowned, bro, back to back.
I really wanted Philly to be good in this meta.
Well, unlucky.
I really wanted them to be good. Like, so much hype. We built up around Philly about like 2-2 and like they would be better now. Like,
I put them at 10 and I'm disappointed. I put them at 10 at my first 2-2 rankings. I'm disappointed.
Carpe just
like 15.
Carpe's like, I'm gonna select Widowmaker and we either win with it or we lose. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Here's what you do if you're Philly. This is gonna sound bonkers, by the way.
Put Boombox in the damage chair on 76.
Put Kib on May and fucking EQ on Hanzo, and like that's what you have as your setup.
Yeah, honestly, I can't disagree with you. I don't think
Carpe's got a sick Hanzo though.
Has he?
Does he?
Yeah. When I interviewed Fraggy last year,
maybe
we were talking. I was interviewing Fraggy towards the end of last year, and I was like, kind of tell me something about like some of the players on your team, and he's like, Carpe's best hero is Hanzo, and I was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, Carpe's got like an unreal Hanzo, but he just doesn't play it.
Yeah,
for us.
I think EQO brings
he
more
plays
to
Widow.
the team.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but having EQ on May is the correct role for him, I think, because he's like the guy that steers the ship. Yeah. You want Carpe just to frag out. You want Carpe to be your Corey.
Dude, imagine saying that 3 months ago. You're Corey, dude.
Honestly, imagine saying that like 2 weeks ago. Corey on Hanzo was not a thing.
Well, let's talk about his performance against the Titans. Was that the best individual performance we've ever seen in the Overwatch
League? I think
League?
Profit in the finals might have been up there. Just consider the stakes of it.
You know who actually he got third in terms of all-time final blows for series. And I don't remember who second was.
No. Sure Ben said he fucked that up. Ben said he fucked that stat up, and he was actually something like I don't know. It was either 9th or 30th. I forgot. But he said he wasn't quite there.
On Hollywood, he was the second highest after Taimo.
Yeah. Yep, that's
final
true.
blows in a map.
Right.
So Taimo had the record like 35 or 36, and Corey got like 34.
Bren though is directly responsible for the #1 final blows in a game. When he picked the Shanghai Dragons to beat the Dallas Fuel. Effect came out and had something.
Oh my god!
Final blows in that match.
Nobody knows about this. Nobody knows about this.
Effect had 70 final blows in that match. I think.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Nobody knows about
this. Brent, tell the story. Brent,
I gotta tell the story. Last year, send your minds back to 2018.
Hear this story.
Was it stage 3 or stage 4?
I think it was earlier than that.
I think it was stage 4, dude.
I thought it was stage 4, man. I thought it was at the end when Dallas were looking poop.
No, actually, no. He may have been right. Stage
good.
No, because it wasn't like the good Dallas. It was the bad.
I think it was stage 3. And I was like, and Dallas were absolute dog shit. Like at the time, like absolute dog shit. Shanghai also dog shit. But we are on the desk, and I remember it's me and Crumbs and.
Well, that was it. There was only 3-person desks.
Yeah, me and Crumbs on the desk. Bro, it couldn't be. Maybe it was earlier. I don't know. But anyway, we all predicted Shanghai on the desk, and like it was like the old system. It was like just before the match. And
no, wait, wasn't that with Zoe as well? It was a 4-man desk in like stage 1 or 2, and everyone predicted Shanghai Dragons.
Nah, dude. We're getting like so many fucking stories mixed up here. It's definitely at the end of the season.
Yeah, it was near the tail end of the season when Dallas were bad and Shanghai were just like still trying to go for their first win. And I thought today was going to be the day. Now, Effect and the rest of the Dallas Fuel are standing behind the cameras because they're waiting to walk out down the middle tunnel. So let me set the scene for you. We're on there and we're going through the predictions and like, here's your predictions for the day. Boom, 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 or for this match. Shanghai, Shanghai. And I look past the camera and I just see Effect staring at me, staring me down with just mean mugging me. Just mean mugging me. Like literally,
bro.
Like I had just said that I had killed his family. Like that I was dating his daughter. Like he was mean mugging me, bro. And he was staring me down behind this camera. And he went out there and played the best game of Overwatch he's played in such a long time. He was a man fueled by rage.
So angry that you guys picked them to lose.
Yeah. And afterwards he said he was so angry that the desk predicted Shanghai over Dallas. He hard carried the shit out of that game. And I asked Dylan, AKM, afterwards, because we went out drinking, and he was like, yeah, we were probably going to lose that game until you guys predicted Shanghai. Effect didn't say anything the entire game. He just hard carried. And he just got so many kills.
I found the game.
It was
stage
5th,
3,
right?
It was stage 3, week 1, April 4th, but yeah. Sure. And it was Effect in the first map went 20 for 2. The next highest person with kills had 8.
Yeah, dude, he was unreal. Well, that was when the Dragons had just gotten Fearless, Geggery, and Otto, right?
Because it was when Damon joined as well.
Oh, yeah.
And he just clowned on them. Having said that, fucking Effect is totally insane. I don't know whether you've seen this drama, but the guy's cooked. The guy's actually just
he's tough.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Bren is responsible for the #1 final blow game in Overwatch League history.
Yeah.
Corey was unreal. Like, if that guy doesn't make Team USA, bro, like, I'm gonna start Team USA 2, and we're gonna pick up Corey, and we're just gonna go for it.
It's monumental. It may have been the hardest carry performance we've seen. It certainly is this year, right? Because you can't really hard carry in GOATs like that. But what if he doesn't do that? I mean, is that a fluke, or is that just what Corey's going to do from now on?
I mean, dude,
I don't think you can do this every time.
I saw Elk tweet out that a lot of tier 2 teams were refusing to scrim them when he was playing because they were convinced Corey was hacking. Like, he was that good. Like, that. Who knows how this kind of plays out? Can you keep that up? Who the hell knows? I mean, not at that level, right?
I mean, if he can, he's the greatest Hanzo Widowmaker kind of hybrid we've ever seen. But I mean, I don't think he can. That would be
he would. I mean, and the crazy part is like, okay, you can go out and like dunk on the Dragons of last year, right? But this is against the Vancouver Titans.
Yeah,
like he made them look like a pickup team.
I will say as well, it did look like Vancouver were testing stuff. Like they started playing a lot more May Reaper, which
they weren't playing Widow, they weren't playing Genji.
But also, I think that's also the map pool, right? Because they were playing a bunch of. It was like you can't really play Genji on Volskaya. Like, good luck doing that.
They're trying to play a Winston Diva Farah on Havana offense. Like, come on, like what?
I think they were just boomed at that point. They were just trying to find a way to shut down Corey, and they didn't find.
They came in after the second half and they started playing Wrecking Ball, and I'm like, when was the last time I saw Wrecking Ball? Like everyone just plays Orisa all the time.
Do you think out of these teams, who do you feel is the most in trouble between the Titans, the Dragons, and NYXL?
Wait, what? What a weird.
Probably NYXL.
They lost to Chengdu. I mean,
I'd probably say NYXL right now.
NYXL is less on the line than Shanghai. So I'm more concerned about the Dragons because they have to fight for their seed and shit.
So this might be a bit of a weird take, but I'm most concerned about the Titans because they have the most to lose, and also I can see some really big holes in how they play.
I think
cheating the question a bit.
I mean, I actually kind of feel the best about New York because I think they have a lot of damage dealer players that they can figure it out. You still have Jonak and Animo, who's like a solid support core, and like Mono on the Orisa. Like I think they have the pieces to figure it out. I think I'm scared with the Titans and the Dragons that they don't have the damage dealer pieces to put things in place.
The Titans don't have a Hanzo, really. Like who
plays
Hanzo?
Bumper, dude, the Bumzo.
The Bumzo.
Isn't Haxal a competent Hanzo?
I mean, I've never seen him play it. I can't remember a series where he played it. Let's put it like that. Maybe he can. It was Hureg playing it in this game, and he got clapped, and he was nowhere near. So, I don't know.
Bring in Wolf. Call in Wolf. We'll talk about Vancouver Titans.
Phone a friend.
Who? Yeah, phone a friend. Because I mean,
I
can't talk about it.
I think the Titans could be in a very, very, very interesting spot of like, remember last year when New York like played Philly in the second round and everyone like even like it's crazy like everyone on the outside of like the Blizzard Arena and I guess like talent was like New York like whatever, but everybody like one of us was like Philly's gonna beat them. Like we kind of all had this vibe about it that like Philly was really peaking. Like I think in like 3 weeks time we're having the same conversation with like a hot like potentially like Guangzhou Charge team against like the Titans in like a one game to send them down to loser bracket type of scenario. Like all right, like I can see that.
Ironically, Vancouver are playing London and Philadelphia next week. I think those two matches will be very indicative of Titans the rest of the stage. I think these are two very good tests.
It's going to be really telling for both teams.
Yeah.
Considering we saw both of them lose to Florida and one lose to Washington.
I don't really want to entertain the idea of Titans struggling just yet because I want to see them like lose convincingly versus more teams. I just want to make sure that this wasn't a one-off. I don't want to dismiss them that fast.
I think considering how hard Corey carried, all right, if Corey doesn't play that well, the Titans get more opportunities to actually look like a decent team because they're not just one down in every fight. The amount of times where Corey just randomly killed someone.
One down.
Like, all right,
one down. He would jump around the corner and just blame two.
Yeah,
he was like, oh yeah, fuck that. I'll take out the May and the Moira, like just instantly. It's like,
if you're playing against a team that can't do that, then all right, maybe Vancouver start to look a little bit better. And I don't think you can rely on like Hanzo's hitting those kind of shots all the time.
We've talked a little bit about the teams at the top that have struggled. What do you guys think of the Chengdu Hunters? I thought they looked great.
Oh, bro, I rate them so high.
I thought they looked great.
Maybe my own downfall, but I rate Chengdu top right
now.
The
Moo owns, dude.
Yeah.
What do you mean by top?
I think I got them in third.
Third? You got Chengdu in third?
Yeah.
Bro, you would have. No wonder why these people think he's got a drinking problem, but I get it though.
Well, the way they were playing, I mean, I had a feeling about Chengdu. Like they've been playing a lot of these compositions throughout the entirety of the league when everyone else was playing goats. Eamon's got a good ball and Orisa on him. It's the only two main tanks you're really seeing right now.
I mean, they were winning games playing like Farah and Hanzo when people were playing goats.
Yeah.
Why are you so convinced about them now?
Taken. I don't know. If it was like Jim, we're seeing a lot more Genji being played for one. Jimmu's got a pretty fat Genji on him. It's up there. Yang Xiaolong Sombra's not bad.
Sombra. Who plays Sombra?
Like some of the heroes you need in this meta, Jinmu has some of the best in those certain roles. Like he can play a sick Farah, he can play a sick Genji, a really good Hanzo. Like Jinmu's Hanzo is nutty. Like
it is, yeah, occasionally. My problem with Chengdu is like when they played against Boston, they just threw. They just actually hard inted into Boston.
Yeah.
And you never know when Chengdu.
That's the beauty of the Hunters.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Hunters.
That's the beauty. You got to roll the dice, Josh. That's the beauty of the Hunters, bro.
You were talking, saying you think Guangzhou might be the team that's going on a dark horse run. I'm saying Chengdu, baby. Chengdu Hunters. They make 12. I think they just make a run.
Well, dude, I think Nero and Happy are really. I mean, I think Nero and Happy is a better version of Jinmu and Yang Xiaolong.
Nero Happy is such a fat duo.
Nero Happy
really is. Yeah.
Nero's mate, pretty fucking good.
Johnny's not impressed.
No, I just think it's funny.
You don't like it?
No, I keep going. I'm just entertained.
Well, you sit there with this smirk on your face, like you know something.
No,
Johnny,
it's just funny.
You been visiting the hot tubs?
No, it's just funny because
they're like last night.
They were these mid-table teams, and then they had like 1 or 2 good weeks. Like Guangzhou lost to London this week, and you were like, "Oh, Nero and Happy! Oh, they lost to London, dude! Oh, they lost to London, but they're so good, man!" I'm like, "Come on."
I think the thing with the charge, though, I think the charge through the whole year, though, have been like, they've never been like. Okay, with a lot of teams that are like shit, you can look at like one part of their team and be like, oh, well, this part of their team is shit. Like, there was never a point with the charge where you were like, oh, like their tanks like stink or their DPS isn't good enough or their supports aren't great. it just seemed like they had like zero teamwork like whatsoever in goats.
So
Like, now you just take the teamwork out of it, dude, and just let these dudes just shmang cross map headshots.
Shmang.
Like, yeah, just letting them fly. Like fuck it.
Someone just asked like, Chara is shit though, and I'm like, have you been watching Chara's POV to just watch this guy
watching Chara?
Yeah.
This would have been the anti-reinforcement.
Literally, it's what Guangzhou's going to be doing to everyone. It's what Guangzhou's going to be doing to everybody. Just fucking flossing. They're just going to be flossing on everyone.
That's a pretty good gesture impression.
Yeah.
Gesture. Did you see comms check this week? Gesture was like in between the masks, just like.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on, dude?
I think though you've just shouted so many teams out that there's no coherent structure to it. I mean, do you actually think Guangzhou is going to be a top team?
All right,
I think Chengdu has more potential than Guangzhou.
Let's make a power ranking.
Let's make a Plat Chat power ranking. This is the way of doing it.
This is the way to do it.
We ain't coming to any sort of conclusion.
I think
the debate will be fun.
I think we can come to some.
You want to do it now?
Yes, now, live.
Yeah. Right now?
All right.
Yeah.
This is gonna be scuffed.
I'm out. I gotta go pick up my shit.
What do you mean?
Like I gotta the post office closes at like 5:30 or something.
Well, you need me to pick up your shit. So how are you doing it if I'm doing a power rank?
Well, I don't know. Might just go there and make sure they've got it, you know.
Just have to get an Uber or something then.
Just
closes at 6. It closes at 6. We're Gucci.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
We're Gucci.
Yeah, I'll do it quick because I have to hit the gym at 6:30.
Okay, I think we all agree that Shock are on top.
I have Shock in #1 as well.
Right? Is there anybody that disagrees? I mean,
Shock
I don't think
number
Shock
one?
are dominant. I think Shock could even lose a couple of games this stage. But
I'll agree with that.
They're the team I feel the best about right now out of the top teams.
Here's something we need to clear up.
Okay, here we go.
How are we doing this power rankings? Are we doing it based off of the Shock would beat every team
No.
in that list?
Well, I mean, the Shock might be favorites to beat every team, maybe, but like there are some teams maybe further down the list that might just boom you suddenly.
Sure, but if we were to say like out of 10,000 simulations, the Shock would be the top
Why are you making
team.
it complex? Just who do you think's the best?
Yeah, because it needs to be complicated. You need like a method because sometimes you take into factors like
we're just gonna record for like 10 more minutes.
The potential for them to be to upset, like the potential for them to be consistently good. Like there's teams that I would place
screw this
higher
shit.
than they probably would be in stage 4 because I know in the past they've been very good.
Are we putting LA Gladiators at second?
All right, so who do you have in #2?
I would put Gladiators a second. I'm just literally ignoring Bren.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's so many mid-table teams, but I feel like Gladiators have like a consistency to them that I like. But I don't think Gladiators deserve to be #2, but all the other teams are so shit.
Can you make a case for the Atlanta Reign?
If we did 10,000 games, I think Gladiators would be second in wins.
Okay, well, you do your own little 10,000 simulation wins then, and the rest of us will just do the same thing.
Can you make a case for the Atlanta Reign right now?
I don't think you can, because they haven't beaten
No, they're not proven enough. So who do we put at #3?
All right, so Gladiators. I'll concede Gladiators.
All right, how about this?
What about the
Justice have not lost yet, and if they play like they did against Titans, they will beat everybody.
Well, the Atlanta Reign haven't lost yet, and they have a better map differential.
But they've only played against shit teams. The Justice have played against the Titans.
Are we?
Yeah, but how good is Titans in this meta?
Do we say Justice?
Titans didn't look good in that game.
But do we say the Justice and the Reign are your 3 and 4?
I don't want to put I feel I could put Justice at like 6-5, not 3.
Yeah. Who are you gonna put in front of the Justice?
Maybe Titans.
Yo, get Mayhem in there.
Nah.
I don't know, man.
Toronto beat Shanghai. It doesn't mean that I put Toronto above Shanghai all of a sudden. That's not how power rankings work.
But you have an undefeated team who just dunked on the #1 team, and then you want to put the #1 above them?
Do you want to put Florida Mayhem above London Spitfire?
No.
Exactly.
But Florida
that's
Mayhem
because
are
I think
undefeated.
Spitfire had a shit game.
Yeah,
like I think Spitfire had a terrible game, but Justice had a great game.
Yeah.
But do you think Justice are going to play like that all the time? That's the other thing to think about. Like,
no, I don't think
that just a
they
fluke
will.
from Justice?
No.
Well, it's not a big fluke, but I think it was not indicative of the rest of the season.
Because they're unproven.
I think they don't.
I like Atlanta. I'm with you.
Thank
Do you want to
Bren.
put Chengdu at 3?
Atlanta is my 4th best team.
Chengdu as a loss though. Like if you're gonna go with that, it's true.
They played everyone else really close though. They played Boston like so close.
And Philly. They went to map 5 versus Philly and Boston.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
You have 3 undefeated teams right now.
I will put Justice at number 3. Washington Justice at number 3.
I mean, what world are we fucking living in? It's just ridiculous.
Justice at 3. Nah, get fucked.
What do you want to put
there? Give me
there?
Atlanta at 4.
Get
Give me
fucked.
Atlanta at 4.
Who do you want to put at 3?
I think it was a combination of factors that caused Justice to win over the Titans. It was Corey playing probably one of the best game he's ever going to play over in his life, and it was the Titans playing one of the worst games they're ever going to play in that franchise's history.
Okay, so
they
if you play that
themselves
10,000 times, all right, do your 10,000 simulations.
I've looked through every possible timeline, Josh.
How many
and
times
that was
does
the one.
Justice win?
That was the one. No, it wasn't the one. It wasn't the one. But I would definitely say, in a world where Anubis was the second map, I brought this up earlier, I think there's a world in which it's more like 60-40 to Titans.
I think Titans would win Anubis.
If you give Titans Anubis, they win Anubis because Haxel can play his pocket, his Genji, which is a freak, right?
Maybe Hanamura as well.
Yeah. I think the fact that the map pool played into Justice got them that win.
Who would you put at 4th? Are we talking
Vancouver?
about Chengdu, Atlanta?
Dude, I still think the Titans should be up there.
Yeah.
The Titans are going to bounce back from this. I don't think they're going to.
I want to put okay, Vancouver 4, Atlanta 5.
4, Atlanta 5.
No, do you want to put Chengdu or Atlanta?
I would go with Chengdu 6.
Chengdu, I feel comfortable at Chengdu 5, Atlanta's. No, I like Erster. Oof!
As soon as I'm serious, like as much as I said Atlanta were my dark horse, that was mostly because I thought most people, weren't on that train yet. But Atlanta sometimes feed hard as well. Like Erster or FRD or fucking Baby Bay will sometimes just int. A bit like Chengdu do.
Chat, can you see this power ranking well?
Okay, so
how does it look on stream?
I like
Chengdu 5, Atlanta 6, and then Seoul.
I had London.
Not Seoul.
London?
I had London.
Seoul.
Yeah, get out of here, bro.
Bro, Spitfire, Charge, and Chengdu all should be above Seoul.
Yeah.
Alright, so Spitfire 7.
Yeah. Charge 8.
Yeah, I could be down with that. Yeah. Then Shanghai, probably.
Well, what about New York?
No, I think
Shanghai
London.
Do you think New York's better than Seoul and Shanghai?
No. Not in the current state. No.
I feel like you guys are.
No. I think New York aren't in the top 10.
No, I don't think so either.
But maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I mean, who have New York
I don't
want to
put Shanghai there because they lost to Defiant and the Titans.
Thoughts on the Valiant? Question mark.
No, they just beat Paris Eternal. They lost to Seoul.
Paris and lost to Seoul.
Dallas.
I mean, I think Valiant are pretty.
Are Seoul and Shanghai your 9 and 10 by default?
Yeah.
I kind of think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think both of them are kind of meh, but Shanghai at 9, Seoul at 10.
I mean, would NYXL be better than Seoul?
I don't
think NYXL are better than Shanghai. I think Shanghai are better. But
I think NYXL is better than Seoul. Yeah.
All right. Who have Seoul played against?
They lost to San Francisco. They lost to Shanghai, and then they beat the LA Valiant in map 5.
Yeah. So they lost to 2 teams above them, but the Shanghai one not particularly convincing.
What about Philly?
Well, like 14th or something.
Yeah, I don't really rate Philly particularly high. I think they're struggling at the moment.
Right now, I have on paper.
They went to map 5 versus Guangzhou and Chengdu.
I have on paper 1 through 10. Shock, Gladiators, Justice, Titans, Atlanta, Chengdu, London, Guangzhou, Shanghai, and NYXL is the top 10.
Wait, we're missing someone here.
No. That was top 10. I mean, that was NYXL instead of Seoul. I mean, NYXL got fucking boomed by Hunters, boomed by Gladiators.
I want to put Seoul
they've
at
won
10.
against is Paris. I think Seoul are better than NYXL right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes.
Haven't thought about it. Yeah.
So number 9.
Holy shit!
Was
how wild is
Shanghai.
that? New York out of the top 10 power rankings.
I don't even know if Seoul could be better.
Do we want to go all the way down to the bottom? Do we want to?
No,
fuck that.
Keep it top 10.
I saw Josh's smile. Josh is
pretty
like
funny. I think it's pretty funny, but If you don't want to do it,
Fuck
you should not
that.
do it. But
It's just too convoluted. It's just like I don't want to review Outlaws.
Who do you think's the
Eternal.
worst right now? Let's just throw that out there.
who do we think is the worst?
Boston
Bro.
or Dallas?
The Hangzhou Spark are sliding, bro.
Boston or
The
Dallas?
Spark are sliding. Boston or Dallas? I could. Yeah,
I think
maybe.
Boston probably is
Boston,
worse.
definitely worse. Yeah.
No, I'd say Dallas.
Dallas, we haven't really seen too much of. We only saw them play against Spitfire and Valiant, but yeah, they didn't look great.
It's a toss-up between Dallas and Boston.
Probably.
You don't think Hangzhou's looked that bad this far?
To be fair, yeah.
Wow, they haven't lost. Actually,
They lose 3-0 to the Charge. They lose
I
3-1
don't
to
know.
Atlanta.
Who are you talking about?
Hangzhou. You think Hangzhou's going to beat New York in the Hunters this week? I mean, they're 0-4 right there.
I think Spark have played against better teams than some of the other teams, like Boston, for example. Well, maybe not even Boston.
Yo, Pete,
Like that. Yeah, fuck it.
the Spark are going to have a 1-win stage.
Maybe, yeah. The Spark are going to drop out of the top 6.
Yeah. No, they're going to lose to New York because New
Who
York's
gets
going to
it?
be pissed after
Who
losing
takes
to the
their spot?
Hunters.
Who takes their spot in the top 6?
I don't have the
Fuck, I don't
standings.
standings. Yeah, I'm looking.
I
at
have them right here. You'd be looking at Philly.
No,
Yeah.
Philly,
no,
Philly
no, no,
or
no,
Seoul,
no, no.
or Seoul
No, it had to
Dynasty.
be Seoul
Philly or Seoul.
or Atlanta if they go 7-0.
No, if Atlanta goes 7-0, they're going to be good map differential, better record than some of these teams. Yeah.
Atlanta or Seoul.
Imagine a world where Philly are in the top 6.
I mean, I
Imagine a
don't think
world in
that's
which
too
the
crazy.
Atlanta Reign, who lose to the Guangzhou Charge and then beat NYXL back to back and make a 7-0 run at the end of the year to get in the top 6. Who the fuck? If the Atlanta Reign goes 7-0 this stage and get into the top 6, who the fuck wants to play them?
Can we talk about the fact? Can we talk about the fact that London Spitfire are in the top 6 and they've been to 1 stage playoffs? That's
Atlantic
wild
division,
to me.
isn't it?
Nah, they're just coasting, bro. They know they only have to be good at the end of the season playoffs.
Hey, actually, is Atlanta the Papega division anymore? I don't think they are.
What do you mean?
So Atlantic division. The Atlantic division has always been the crap division.
Have they turned it around?
I think they've now turned into the good division.
Have they?
don't know.
No, because
I'm
you
just
have
taking a look at them
Washington,
now. No,
Atlanta,
bro.
London.
Washington are fucking good right now.
Yeah, but I'm
right
saying
now-
in the top 10 you have Washington, Atlanta, London.
Nah, Josh. It's the top
that's
8
it.
right now. Only for this stage, looking at the record for this stage, only has 3 teams from the Atlantic. But you have the number 1 and number 2 team right now in terms of record and map differential. So take that for what it's worth.
All right. Florida are a lot better than they used to be.
No! What? They're not
Yeah, they
top
are.
10 in
They
the
are,
power
they are.
rankings.
No. All right, not top 10, but
No,
the bottom
yeah.
5 teams could all be. No, not quite, right? Because we've still got Boston and Paris.
I think
down
this
there.
point's
Fucking
done.
Boston and Paris.
Yeah.
I think
Houston
you're
as
lost
well.
in the
It was a
sauce,
good
mate.
try- it was a
You're
good
lost in the
try. It
sauce,
was a
mate.
good try.
It's a good try, but
I
fuck
got lost
you.
in the
try.
sauce. I got lost in the sauce. Hands up. Hands
I
up.
am
the fuck outta
buying
here.
stock on that.
Stonks.
Atlantic stonks are going up though. They're
Let's
just
talk
Yeah,
about
they are
some of
going
the let's talk about some of the biggest matches this week really quick before we go. London, Vancouver to kick the week off. Who do you guys got in that one?
Wait, what? Oh.
I got London.
I got Titans.
Oh my god, who the fuck is gonna win that game?
Who throws
I
the
have no
hardest?
idea.
I got
I-
Titans.
Woo!
Throw the coin.
I got
in the sky.
Titans. I got Titans.
Why
The
you got
maps
Titans?
are Busan, Anubis, Hollywood, and Route 66.
Oh,
Yeah,
those
I
are
think
good maps. for
Those are
Titans.
great
I think
maps for
Titans.
Yeah,
Titans.
actually, those are
Titans.
pretty good maps for Vancouver.
We're so smart, all of us.
Okay, yeah. I give Vancouver that one.
Guangzhou
But it's
Seoul
super close.
Dynasty.
I could
think
see Seoul
Guangzhou
winning. You
wins.
guys are sleeping on Seoul. I could see them.
I think Guangzhou
Fuck
wins
off,
that, dude.
sleeping
Yeah.
on Seoul.
Dude, Johnny wants to play for Seoul Dynasty so bad.
What
dude.
is
Yeah.
good about Seoul?
Guangzou.
I got
winning.
Guangzhou, dude. I got
Guangzou winning that.
all the way.
I think Guangzou win that.
Boston
Why do you
or
think Seoul
Washington?
win that?
No.
Wait, why do you think Seoul win that game, Johnny?
I think people are just sleeping on them a bit. I like their versatility.
Bro.
I think that Illicit is actually a pretty good flex player in this meta specifically.
Yeah,
I think
he's just trying
Marvel is pretty much slept on. Like, he's a consistent, good main tank. I think they have to sort out their backline a bit because I like Rija Hong. I don't like that they swap between Hylie and Rija Hong. I don't like that they swap in Fleta like once every map. I think if they had a consistent Widowmaker player that came in and someone who could play consistently like Hanzo to complement that DPS duo, I think they could be pretty good. But for now, not too high in the Soul Dynasty. They also need to sort out their off-tank situation.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, we'll have to check Johnny's PayPal to see if those Soul Dynasty payments keep coming through.
Gen G's newest streamer.
Yeah, right after this, he's gonna announce a partnership with Gen G.
Hey, turn up! Turn up!
Turn up! Yeah, Plat, the official
Shock
podcast
Dragon.
of Gen G. Yeah, Shock Dragons.
Shock take that.
Shock
I
roll
think
that.
Shock.
I think the Shock roll it. Hangzhou NYXL. To say one thing, Hangzhou is gonna win. I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Nope.
Nah.
Chengdu. Okay, I'm just.
Hangzhou New York
Hangzhou?
NYXL? I can see a world.
You think
Hangzhou?
Hangzhou over NYXL.
I think Chengdu win that. I think Hangzhou had lost to them.
Hangzhou have looked like one of the worst.
No,
if not
Chengdu
the
win that
worst
against
team.
Hangzhou.
The best part about this podcast, the reason it's entertaining, is because we have so many Pepega takes, we have to save each other's from ourselves. Because it's like, everyone comes up with dumb ideas, and we're like, no,
right now, Bren.
let me pull you back up from the depths. Nope.
Unpick Hangzhou against NYXL right now. I cannot move.
No, I think Hangzhou are better than NYXL.
Stop,
right
go.
now. I think they're better than NYXL right
You
now.
can fucking walk to the post office. I mean, I ain't letting you get anywhere.
Why do you think Hangzhou are better?
At me on Friday.
Bro, what?
At me on Friday, bro. At me on Friday, bro.
One reason.
All right. Hey, I think it's better that way. Yeah, it's better that way. We can't even get his takes.
Jesus.
Sunday, Philly, Vancouver. What do you guys think about Philly, Vancouver?
Hello.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we
Wait
can
a
hear
second.
you.
Wait. You've missed a crazy game.
What?
Mayhem Valiant.
Oh, that actually may be a good game.
I think that's going to be a good game.
That actually may be a good game.
That could be the game where Mayhem kills Valiant's hopes of getting into playoffs.
They could.
That's a must
Hello?
win for the Valiant.
Yeah, we hear you. Yep. Vancouver, Philly.
Pepega Carousel.
Does anyone
Wait,
who
who are
can
we
beat?
talking- who are we talking about?
Can beat Philly Titans.
Titans by far. What are we talking about? Are we dumb?
I think Titans win that game.
okay.
I think so, yeah.
Washington
Washington have got 2 easy games this week.
Guangzhou NYXL. That is a
Guangzhou.
sleeper game right there. Guangzhou could win that.
Yeah.
Guangzhou could go 2-0 this week against Seoul and New York, and that would I think
that'd
would
be huge for them.
they would be for real if they do that.
Bro, if they didn't lose all those games with like a 20-something map loss streak, they'd be in the top 6 easy right now.
Yeah.
If they even go 500 over that stretch, they have like 16 wins and they're not at -5. They're in the top 6.
Yeah.
They lose 20-something maps combined, right? Like,
What are we talking about?
we're talking about Guangzhou NYXL.
We still haven't moved on past Hangzhou versus New
Yeah,
York.
we're still talking about Hangzhou, New York.
Someone asked if Dallas will win versus the Shock. Oh, my sweet summer child.
Hey, bro.
Who said that?
God
No,
bless you,
Twitch
GG
chat.
Tristy.
You want anything
God
enough?
bless you.
You can go get it.
I mean, it looks on paper like there's only a few great games this week, but I think we're going to see just some wild shit as well.
Florida Valiant, bro.
I think
Yeah.
Florida might win.
Florida
that
could
game.
win that.
As
They need to
weird as
bust
that
out the
sounds.
Custa Doom.
Some crazy shit
Thank you, Bren.
going on these
Thank you
days.
for that
huh?
contra. Thank you for
Like,
that.
these days, crazy stuff
All
going
right,
on.
what is the
Dude.
craziest upset that could happen
This week?
this week?
Oh,
I don't know.
Dallas over Shock.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
That's
that would
like,
be.
if that happened, I straight up.
Actually,
real though.
say.
Yo,
I could
what up,
see
Boston?
Shock losing to Shanghai. I don't think Shock will keep winning. I don't think Shock
What
will
would
have
be
like
what would be a bigger
stage or
upset?
some shit.
Dallas over the Shock, or the Uprising over the Justice?
That Dallas over Shock.
Yeah, Dallas over Shock.
Because we don't know how good, if Justice are going to keep up this consistency.
Yeah, without Corey, just hard. Well, I say without Corey, hard carry. Maybe Corey will continue to. Fuck knows.
I'm trying to think of any other
ridiculous matches. I mean, Dallas against Gladiators is in as well.
Yeah, even Philly, Vancouver's not like crazy. Washington, Houston over Washington. Yeah, it's either Dallas Shock or Boston over.
Yeah, those would just be mental.
Wow,
what a crazy time we live in.
Unreal, in it.
Crazy, huh? Crazy.
We should just put the Justice at #1 in the power rank. Done with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yo, I'm with it. Atlanta Reign 2, Justice 1.
Yeah, just take the stage 4 standings. That's our power rankings. That's how it works.
Honestly, with how things have flipped on its head, it's kind of.
I love how Pepega that is. The
What do
standings.
you mean?
The standings is an accurate
What do you mean?
representation of the power rankings.
Yeah, and we basically released a whole new game, like over the last 2 weeks. Like this would be like if this would be like if the year just started, you'd pretty much be going off of like the standings. But
did you see that people on Reddit were trying to give Wizard Hyung credit for being like, oh my god, he built such a good 2-2-2 team. We just didn't realize because it was stuck in goats.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Who's making these claims? Listen, the Reddit mods keep removing our clips and shit for low effort content. Remove that for low effort content. Like, my God, engage your brains for once, people. Like, whoa.
I love it. It's got 470 upvotes. But yeah, I think that's just an absolute trash point. Like the idea of banking on 2-2-2 and just not being able to make a roster working goats and just having to rely on.
What? How can you even credit that? If that even was his idea, what a terrible coach! My God!
Yeah.
Like, even if that was his intended effect, like, oh, great! Oh, Justice, are they going to make playoffs? Fuck no! Like, how do you even? Get him out of here! Get him out!
Agreed.
Any final words, Bren, before we close down the episode?
Since I do the intros, Bren, we've given him the option.
Ask me if I want to talk about Dallas Fuel.
Do you want to talk about the Dallas Fuel?
No.